CEO drives into trouble after a black girl orders him to be silent, the shocking reason why. It's a typical day for James, a high-powered CEO of a successful tech company, when he gets into his car to head to an important meeting. But just moments into the drive, everything takes a shocking turn. A young black girl, barely 10 years old, sits beside him, her innocent face full of fear as she suddenly tells him to shut up. He's taken aback, questioning why this child would speak to him that way. What could make her act so aggressively? It's then that James realizes he's not in the driver's seat of a corporate world anymore. His world of privilege is about to be flipped upside down. The reason behind her sudden outburst is more than he could have ever imagined. James Whitaker has everything: money, power, and status. At 38, he's the CEO of a multi-million-dollar tech company that's dominating the market. His days are filled with back-to-back meetings, investor calls, and business strategies. He walks into rooms and commands respect, but as he heads to his car on a seemingly normal day, something feels off. He doesn't know why, but the tension in the air is palpable. Sitting in the back seat of his sleek black SUV is a young black girl, no older than 10. She's not someone he knows, nor does she seem to belong. Her bright eyes dart around, filled with anxiety, as she pulls at the hem of her worn-out dress. James, usually calm and collected, can't help but wonder what she's doing in his car. The driver, a trusted employee of his company, had brought her along without saying much. She doesn't belong to any family he recognizes, and James assumes she's some sort of child relative, perhaps visiting from out of town. Without warning, the child's small hand shoots out, and she tells James almost too urgently, "Shut up." James is stunned. In his world, no one speaks to him like that. He turns to face her, trying to mask his confusion and anger, but before he can say anything, she presses her fingers to his lips. There's a moment of silence. He wonders if she's just an angry child, acting out for reasons he can't fathom. Maybe she's been through something, but he can't get past the abruptness of it. What's going on? He thinks, trying to steady his emotions. But the look on her face tells him this is no ordinary moment. Something is wrong. As the car drives through the streets of the city, the silence between James and the girl deepens. She stares at him with a fixed expression, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and intensity. He's never seen a child look at him this way before. It unsettles him. The tension grows thick, and James tries to break the silence. But before he can speak, the girl finally looks at him and says, "I don't want to hear any of your lies. I don't want to hear how you think the world works. I'm not going to sit here and let you pretend." James is stunned. His mind races. The words sting, but he's not sure why. His life, his work, has been nothing but about making things right, bringing success, and ensuring profit. His actions have been about results, and he has never been questioned until now. He looks at her, his mind still trying to piece things together. Who is she really? Why does she seem so informed? The car slows as they approach a neighborhood that's unfamiliar to James, one he's never ventured into. The houses are run down, the streets are poorly paved, and the air feels different. It's a stark contrast to the polished world he knows. He realizes that this isn't just any drive. There's a reason the girl's here. "Why did you bring me here?" James asks, his voice sharp. He's not used to feeling out of control, but this entire situation is flipping everything he's known. The girl looks out the window, staring at the crumbling buildings that line the streets. "This is where it all started," she says softly. "This is where people like you don't see what's been taken, where you're blind to what's happening." The words hit him like a punch to the gut. He feels exposed, but he doesn't know why. As the car moves forward, they pass a small, run-down school, a place where children play on cracked pavement and a few faded swing sets. James starts to realize this isn't just about him or the company he's built. This is about something bigger, much bigger. The girl turns to him and finally explains, her voice calm but full of emotion. "You've taken more than just money from people. You've taken their lives, their opportunities, their futures. You sit in your office making millions while people here can barely survive. You don't even know their names, do you?" James feels the weight of her words. He knows his company has done well, but he never realized how much it had cost. He's made decisions that on paper seemed like the right call, but did they ever truly consider the people on the other side? The people who had lost jobs, opportunities, livelihoods because of corporate policies that favored profit over people? The tension in the car is almost unbearable as they arrive at a block of abandoned homes. The girl points to one of the houses, a single-story home that's clearly seen better days. "This was my family's home," she says. "But after your company came in and bought the land, we lost everything." James feels a tightness in his chest. He had heard of this kind of thing before. Companies buying out poor communities, pushing people out for the sake of development. He had never thought it would hit so close to home, so personally. "Do you even remember the last time you thought about the people who live here?" she continues, her voice gaining strength. "You've built your empire on their pain. Every dollar you made came at someone else's expense. They lost their homes, their dignity, their right to a future." The weight of the truth crashes over him. He's been blinded by his success, his ambition. He never saw the ripple effect of his decisions. Now, standing in this broken neighborhood, surrounded by the remnants of lives torn apart by his actions, he finally understands the cost of his rise to the top. The girl's face softens, just a little. "It's not too late," she says quietly. "But you have to choose. Will you keep pretending or will you do something real?" As James sits in the car, looking at the dilapidated houses before him, he feels the enormity of the choice ahead. The girl has given him a glimpse into a world he's ignored for far too long. His company, his wealth, his success, none of it feels right anymore. How many others have had their lives stolen, their futures stolen, so that people like him could thrive? The car sits in silence for what feels like an eternity. In that silence, James knows that this is his moment of reckoning. He has a choice to make. As he steps out of the car, the girl watches him, her face no longer filled with anger but with something else, hope. James takes one last look at the neighborhood, at the people still struggling. He's not sure what the future holds, but he knows he can't keep pretending. "Thank you," he says, his voice raw. "I didn't see it before." With that, he walks away, determined to make things right, whatever that may mean. The world of business will never be the same for him again. Maybe, just maybe, the girl's message will be the catalyst for change. Not just for James, but for all the people who have been left behind in the wake of corporate greed. The question remains, will the system ever truly change? Or will we continue to be blind to the pain beneath our success?